After the age of 60, I meet many people who truly believe they've done everything right to control their blood pressure. They reduce salt, choose healthier foods, walk every day, and even follow their medication regimen very strictly. On paper, this is almost the ideal lifestyle for heart health. And if you only look at what they're doing, you would expect their blood pressure to be stable. But what always makes me pause is this. Despite doing all the right things, many people still see their blood pressure gradually rise over time. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but slowly and quietly. And that's exactly what makes it so easy to overlook, because they're confident they're on the right track. In reality, controlling blood pressure isn't just about what you intentionally do right. It also depends on the small things you repeat every single day without even noticing. After 60, the body becomes especially sensitive to daily habits, particularly those that last for hours at a time. And here's the part that surprises many people. You may be maintaining a daily habit that seems completely harmless, yet it could be silently making your blood pressure harder and harder to control. But what surprises many people is this. This habit isn't something you've ever been warned about. It's not eating too much salt, not drinking alcohol excessively, and not a lack of physical activity. In fact, you might be doing everything by the book, as your doctor advised, yet still be affected by this very habit. After many years of working with patients, I've noticed a common pattern. Most people focus on the obvious factors like diet, medication, or exercise routines. But they overlook the behaviors they repeat unconsciously throughout the day, things that seem too ordinary to even matter. And it's precisely those ordinary things that can be the most harmful, because they happen continuously, hour after hour. Your body doesn't just respond to big decisions, it is deeply influenced by small habits that are repeated over and over again. And here's the alarming part. This habit doesn't cause pain, doesn't create discomfort, and doesn't come with clear warning signs. Yet it quietly puts daily strain on your heart and blood vessels. At this point, many people start asking themselves, so what's really causing it? And the natural reaction is to think of familiar factors, salt, sugar, stress, or not exercising enough. But in my experience, in most cases, the answer doesn't lie in those things. You might be eating very clean, limiting salt as much as possible, walking regularly every morning, even managing stress quite well. Yet, your blood pressure still rises quietly over time. This leaves many people feeling confused, even blaming themselves for not doing enough. But the truth is, the issue isn't that you're doing something wrong, it's that you're missing a key factor that few people talk about. Our bodies don't just respond to what you consciously control, they're also shaped by the habits you repeat unconsciously every day. And sometimes, the things you think are unrelated are actually the ones having the biggest impact on your cardiovascular system. If you're feeling like I've done everything right but it's still not working, don't give up just yet. Keep watching, because what comes next might completely change the way you understand your blood pressure. And if you find this helpful, comment, "I'm watching," so I know you're here, because even a small change can make a big difference to your health. At this point, many people start asking themselves, so what's really causing it? The natural reaction is to think of familiar factors, salt, sugar, stress, or not exercising enough. But in my experience, in most cases, the answer doesn't lie in those things. You might be eating very clean, minimizing salt, walking every morning, even managing stress quite well, yet your blood pressure still rises quietly over time. This leaves many people feeling confused, even blaming themselves for not trying hard enough. But the truth is, the problem isn't that you're doing something wrong, it's that you're overlooking a key factor that few people ever mention. Our bodies don't just respond to what you consciously control, they are also shaped by habits you repeat unconsciously every day. And sometimes, the things you assume are unrelated are actually the ones having the greatest impact on your cardiovascular system. If you feel like I've done everything right, but it's still not working, don't give up just yet. Keep watching, because what comes next may completely change how you understand your blood pressure. And if you find this helpful, comment, "I'm watching," so I know you're here, because even a small change can make a big difference to your health. The most dangerous aspect of this habit isn't that it happens, it's how it silently affects your body. When you sit for too long, your circulatory system no longer functions as efficiently as it should. Blood flow slows down, especially in the smaller vessels, reducing the delivery of oxygen and essential nutrients. Over time, the walls of your blood vessels begin to lose their natural elasticity. They become stiffer and less flexible in responding to each heartbeat. When that happens, your heart has to generate more pressure to push blood throughout the body. This is one of the direct mechanisms that leads to rising blood pressure. What's concerning is that this process develops very slowly and without obvious signs. You don't feel pain, and there are no immediate warning symptoms. Everything happens quietly until one day you check your blood pressure and realize it has gone beyond a healthy range. And this is what makes many people underestimate the risk. Because they don't feel anything unusual, they assume their body is fine, when in reality, small changes are building up day by day, gradually pushing the cardiovascular system into a dangerous state. One of the biggest misconceptions I often see is this. Many people believe that exercising every day is enough to protect their heart. They spend 20-30 minutes walking, doing light workouts, or staying active in the morning and assume that this makes up for the rest of the day. But in reality, it's not that simple. Your body doesn't work on a compensation system the way we think. A short period of activity cannot erase the effects of sitting for many hours afterward. If you exercise for 30 minutes, but then sit for 7-8 hours the rest of the day, most of your time is still spent in a low-activity state. More importantly, your body adapts to the state you maintain the longest. If you spend most of your time sitting, your circulation, muscles, and blood vessels will gradually adjust to that condition, a state that is not beneficial for your heart. To put it bluntly, you may be exercising correctly, but how you live during the rest of your day is what truly determines your blood pressure. If you look deeper into what's happening inside the body, you'll understand why this habit is so dangerous. When you sit for too long, your blood vessels are no longer activated by movement. Over time, they begin to lose their natural elasticity. They no longer expand and contract as flexibly with each heartbeat as they once did. As blood vessels become stiffer, the heart has to generate greater pressure to push blood throughout the body. And it's this increased pressure that directly leads to higher blood pressure. This isn't just a theory, it's a well-established biological mechanism. What's important to understand is that this process happens very quietly. You can't feel your blood vessels gradually stiffening over time. There are no immediate warning signs, no pain to alert you. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. By the time you notice the problem, these changes may have been developing in your body for years. The effects of prolonged sitting don't stop at blood pressure. They extend to multiple systems throughout the body. As blood vessels gradually lose flexibility and circulation slows down, the risk of cardiovascular disease increases significantly. The heart has to work harder every day, and over time, this can lead to chronic overload. In addition, long periods of sitting are closely linked to a higher risk of type 2 diabetes, as the body becomes less efficient at using insulin. The brain is also affected. Reduced blood flow to the brain over time may contribute to memory decline and impaired cognitive function. What's concerning is that none of this happens overnight. These changes build up little by little every hour you sit, every day you repeat the habit. And because there are no obvious warning signs, most people only realize something is wrong when the condition has already become serious. This is the most dangerous part. You don't feel like you're doing anything wrong, yet your body is quietly paying the price every single day until a major event occurs and catches you off guard. The biggest mistake I often see is this. Many people focus only on what they eat and how much they exercise, while overlooking how they live during the rest of the day. They assume that as long as they eat healthy and stay active, their blood pressure is under control. But the truth is, your body doesn't score your health based on just 30 minutes of exercise. It reflects how you live over the full 24 hours of your day. The periods you consider unimportant, like sitting, watching TV, or working, are often the ones that have the greatest impact. What's worth thinking about is this. It's not what you do for a short time that determines your health, but what you repeat every day, for hours at a time. And if you overlook this, all your other efforts may not deliver the results you expect. What frustrates many people is this. They've done so many things right, yet the results don't match their expectations. They eat healthier, reduce salt, maintain regular physical activity, even manage their weight well, but their blood pressure still isn't stable. Over time, they begin to think their body isn't responding, or that it's simply due to age, something they can't change. But that's not the reality. Everything you're doing does have an effect. It's just being weakened by another factor that's constantly happening in the background without you noticing. It's like trying to move forward while an unseen force is pulling you back every day. Healthy eating can help to a certain extent, and exercise strengthens your heart. But if you continue maintaining an unfavorable habit for most of the remaining hours of your day, the results will never fully meet your expectations. What you need to understand is this. The problem isn't that you're not doing enough. It's that you're missing a crucial piece. And that missing piece is what ultimately determines your blood pressure outcomes. Once you understand this, everything starts to become clearer. It's not that what you've been doing is useless. On the contrary, all your efforts like eating healthy, exercising, and managing stress do matter. But they are only one part of a much bigger picture. The issue is that your body doesn't respond to short bursts of effort. It adapts to the habits you repeat most throughout the day. If you spend most of your time in a low-activity state, then no matter how well you exercise, your body will gradually adjust in that direction. In other words, your cardiovascular health isn't determined by the moments when you try hard, but by how you live throughout the entire day. Small, repeated actions like how long you sit and whether you get up regularly are what quietly shape your circulation. Once you realize this, you'll understand. Change isn't about doing more, but about doing things better consistently throughout the whole day, not just for a few minutes. So what should you do to change this? The good news is, the solution is not as complicated as many people think. You don't need to exercise harder, and you don't have to completely overhaul your lifestyle overnight. The most important thing is to break up long periods of sitting. Start with very simple actions. Every 30 to 60 minutes, stand up, walk a few steps, or do some light stretching. These small movements may not make you sweat, but they can have a powerful impact on your circulation. When you stand up and move, your blood vessels are activated again, blood flow improves, and the strain on your heart decreases. More importantly, you're preventing your body from staying in a prolonged state of inactivity throughout the day. What you should remember is this. It's not intensity, but consistency that makes the difference. By changing just one small habit and sticking with it every day, you can start creating a significant improvement in your cardiovascular health. By now, you have a clear picture of what's really happening inside your body. And the most important thing isn't how much you know, it's where you start. You don't need to change everything at once, and you don't have to force yourself into an overly strict routine. Start with something simple. Pay attention to how much you sit today. Just becoming a little more aware, standing up sooner, moving more often, breaking up long sitting periods can already make a noticeable difference for your cardiovascular system. Don't wait until symptoms appear or a worrying number shows up before making a change. What you do right now will shape your health for years to come. And if you've made it this far, take 10 seconds to stand up right now. It's not just a small action. It could be the first step toward regaining control of your blood pressure. If you found this helpful, share it with your loved ones, because sometimes a small change today can prevent a major health event in the future. At this point, you've probably realized something very important. The problem isn't that you haven't tried hard enough, it's that you haven't seen the full picture. Blood pressure isn't only influenced by big decisions like what you eat or how long you exercise. It's shaped by what you repeat every day, hour by hour, through small habits you barely notice. And when you change those, you're not just improving a number, you're changing how your entire body functions. I've seen many people make just one small adjustment, standing up more often, moving more throughout the day, and within just a few weeks, their blood pressure begins to stabilize noticeably. No complicated methods, no drastic changes, just the right ones. But here's the most important part. If you go back to your old habits, everything will return to how it was. Your body reflects how you live, not what you intend to do. So, don't just watch this and move on. Start today. As soon as this video ends, stand up, take a few steps, and turn that into a daily habit. If you found this helpful, comment START to commit to yourself. And don't forget to share this video with your loved ones, because sometimes one small action today can protect your health for years to come.